Welcome to Two Guys Garage. Today we got a whopper of a show for you. We found a 5-window 50 truck, worthy of a resto for sure, but where do you start?
You say something? You talking about something?
Yeah, man, I got our old toy and then the vet we've been working on.
Yeah, so do we go play with something we've been working on for a while and have some good times, or do we get to grinding? Either way, we're gonna have fun.
Come on, man. You gotta tell me, was that a fun test drive?
Dude, this thing was a sloppy mess when we got it. I don't know if you saw our previous episodes, 2000 Corvette. This thing was old and tired, and we went through it top to bottom.
Yeah, man, you think about everything we did. Complete motor rebuild, right?
Oh, yeah.
We threw in all kinds of new suspension components as well.
Height.
Yeah?
Brand new brakes. I mean, that motor runs awesome. Dude, this thing is ready to go rocket.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Well, that thing was hammered a lot like this thing here. Now, this is a 1950 farm truck, but it's a 5-window, man. Those are kind of rare.
Oh, they're cool.
Yeah, and regardless of how you buy a car, you may be on the internet, My Classic Garage, you may pick it up in the paper, the neighbor, who knows? But you never really know what the issues with the car are until you dive into it. You pull up the carpet and there's a stop sign, there's a one-way street sign. And this guy, as we get into it, it's got patch panels galore. One here, one right down here, so the thing's been Legoed.
Yeah, but not patched in properly, just stuck on, like, plug the hole.
Yeah,
right?
Some liquid nail, a hammer, maybe a tack weld here and there.
So we got a lot of unpeeling, you know, like we're gonna dig down into this thing and then start to piece it back together and do it the right way, because we wanna hang on to this truck for a long time, not just get another 2-3 years on the road, right?
Hey, these are cool trucks, man. As you can tell with the big block sitting in it, this is gonna be a savage on the street. We just gotta get the body to match the motor.
Yeah, but before we dig too far into this thing, I've just gone for the first test drive. We gotta check for leaks, nut and bolt check, make sure everything looks good before we call it officially done.
Sign off, roll on bay 4.
All right. Yeah, so we pretty much had this whole car torn apart. Full suspension, engine, transmission, body off. There's a lot of things to check. So we're gonna nut bolt everything. Now, we've done it before we went out for our first test drive. So this is just a light one to make sure everything's still good. No leaks, nothing catching on fire.
Yeah, man, it's always a good thing. Do a big visual inspection, every nut and bolt, and then take it for a 1, 2, 3 mile test cruise. Come back, because heat affects the way, wires lay on top of stuff. You may check for leaks and so forth. Give it another good one over before you set that long journey to cruise,
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I've seen a lot of, hot rod projects, spend a lot of time on them. Next thing you know, a wire on a header, something's on fire.
That's
bad juju. And you want to check for things like tires, right?
Yeah, man, if you take out these tires, they are worn out. Here's the wear indicator all the way down on that. So definitely needed some new tires. And the back tire, I don't know if you saw this, it actually has a plug on the sidewall. A huge no-no, man. Never plug the sidewall of a tire.
Yeah, so we got some brand new Falcon tires all the way around this thing. Ooh. Lots of killer tread, ready to go have a blast.
Well, we can't get those on before I get my test drive. See, you had some fun in the cockpit. Me, I haven't had the throttle yet. So I'm getting in there, burning what's left of these tires off, and then we'll put the stickies on.
I got my roast, so it's only fair you get your roast.
Only fair.
Before we put the good tires on and have some real fun.
All right, so you guys jump in the car with me. You gonna do some grinding?
I'm gonna do a lot of grinding, so meet me over there. When you go find a truck in a field, maybe you go look at one in somebody's driveway to purchase, or if it's your own, you really don't know what's under there until you start pulling things apart. So getting this fender out of the way, again, we can see how much rot and kind of repair we've got. So there's a lot of layers to this onion we're gonna have to peel back. So we've got a pretty reasonable sort of cow panel up here, but we've got patches on patches on patches. So we've got to get some of that out of the way to see what we even have for good metal. Now, if we flip around to the inside, you can see we've got sort of an inner panel here. It looks decent, and we've got a sort of a toe kick panel here. But what these are is they're layered on top of what's already there. So now you got a lot of area to trap moisture, dirt, debris, and really accelerate the rust. So on a farm field, just to get things moving, that's fine. But in a restoration, you really want to do it right. So I'm going to carefully start prying things apart, cutting, dissecting, try to get back to the good metal and see what we got. So I think it's time to put on all our safety gear, really start in here and make a mess. talk about peeling back the layers. So this was assumably the original inner, and then this guy just was sitting right on top of it. And then if we go over to the front side, right, we had multiple layers, weird sort of folds and smash, just anything to stick this thing back together. So a lot of pieces in here. So the trick is really working back to something solid. And we're gonna have to still keep finding some of that in there, but I think getting rid of a lot of this stuff is just gonna be our best bet. So we're gonna continue to keep cutting through, and I'm building a strategy of how I'm gonna build it back. So I've got a bunch of cool panels from Brothers Trucks. So I've got a new inner that fits right inside here. Then I've got this inner to outer, and I'll show you where that goes. So that guy will eventually go right up in here and replace all of this section. And then I've got a new outer, sort of lower cowl. This is their full big piece. And that guy will go right up here like that. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna splice and cut, because I don't necessarily have to put it right back together the way the panel's shaped. I can come in here and say, well, my hood fit pretty good, so I wanna maintain this line. So maybe what I do is trim this panel along in there. I get all this structure and shape, so it's nice and stout. And then I can do a butt weld somewhere back in here, and I can still move that panel a little bit because it's flat. I also got to think about some reference points. So once I cut some of this out, how am I going to locate it? So I'm going to hang on to this corner right here so I know where this guy goes. And I'll make sure I hang on to something down there so I get the right location. And I can start building my layers back out.
Okay, welcome back to Two Guys Garage. Now you know our C5 Corvette has had a complete remake. Every single thing on this car, except for the tires, basically brand new. Suspension, brakes, the motor, everything we could replace, we did. And I gotta tell you, man, Kev got some seat time. I'm pretty excited about this right here. I can tell you it feels a lot stiffer. Those Ride Tech shocks really absorbing every bump, every bruise in the road. And it's a good sort of noteworthy point. If you're out and about, you're doing a test drive, you got done, especially something like suspension, find a bumpy road. That way, it'll let you know if there's anything loose, you got any rattles in the car or so forth. You can find some railroad tracks, even better. It's gonna tell you any sort of point you may need to adjust, any sort of corner on the car that you need to take a look at. And then have some fun and let it rip.
All right, well, Willie's having a good time in the Corvette. I'm over here doing a lot of grinding and getting dirty and gritty, but not such a bad time either. Good meaty project. We've got our outer cowl, our inner cowl, and we've got an inner outer fender piece here on our 50 Chevy truck. And you know, again, it's going back to clean metal, trying to find a place to put the good stuff on. So this A-pillar, once it's cleaned up, pretty solid. Working our way back in here. So eventually, I'll clean out a little bit more in here and a little bit more in there. Our inner outer sort of panel there. And then started working out a nice strategy for the outer cowl. What I want to do is just keep an eye on this hood line here. That'll sit in there so I can kind of hook it in place, and then I'm going to keep an eye on this sort of door edge, and I'll play around with it till I get it about where I like it. And I can come back here and I can put a couple of Clecos in to hold my panel in position for now, and keep going in and start fitting these other panels till they all kind of come together. And the Clecos are nice because I can keep adjusting it, and I don't have to put a weld on it just yet. So I'm going to keep on digging till I get there.
What's up, man? Still on that, huh?
Dude, a lot of...
Dude, I got a solution. You hang some chains from it with some beer cans. It's a rat rod wind chime.
That's what I'm talking about. Dude, we could bust that out and have fun while we're doing it.
Indeed,
you know?
man.
But I don't think our owner would be liking it. So we better, you know, stick with the plan, put the good sheet metal back in.
Yeah, you stick with doing this. Luckily, we got the parts for it from Brothers, so we're stoked about that. And remind me to show you something really cool later. I got to go finish up our blog on the Corvette.
So you don't
blog.
want to start on the other side, maybe
Blog,
grind
the
some
blog.
parts?
Nah, I'll help you in a minute, man. The blog. Now, if you guys been following along on a big project like the Corvette, or you have a project of your own, you got to check out. It's like a social media site for all your car and gearhead buddies. It's called myclassicgarage.com, and we've been able to have a lot of fun with it. We've been posting pictures of the Corvette during the build, get advice from other Corvette experts, because there's all kinds of them on My Classic Garage, but you can track your parts. You can put a list of what you need, what you already got, and so forth. Ask people for advice. You could even list your car after it's all done and sell the thing absolutely free. It's a fun little social media site for you and all your gearhead buddies. It's called My Classic Garage. Check out our page, man. It's good stuff. Got to do a little updating. All done. Tires are toast. The end.
In other 3M Auto Tech tips, we've shown you how to spray 3M Paint Defender spray film on a hood. But there are a number of applications that have curves or different angles that you can tackle on the car. A few of these areas are side view mirrors, rocker panels, and front and rear bumpers. For this car, we're going to apply the Paint Defender spray film around the rear bumper. We use the Paint Defender application kit that includes the plastic sheathing and 3M masking tape. The included 3M synthetic wax protectant is used as a release agent, so months down the road the weathered film can be removed. Follow directions when applying Paint Defender spray film, and remember distance, speed, and pattern are all key for an invisible lasting finish. Another area in need of protection is the door edge. To apply the 3M Paint Defender door edge protection, start at the top and work your way down. All of these 3M Paint Defender products help you keep your car looking good. This tip is brought to you by 3M Auto. Smarter solutions through science.
All right, in braking systems today, it's important not just to look at the material, but also the features of the pad for optimum braking performance. EVS NAO ceramic and semi-metallic brake conforms to all those OE standards and are available at Federated Auto Parts. Now the EVS stands for Engineered Vehicle Specific. So regardless of what you're driving, could be a four-wheel drive, a sedan, or one of those high-performance sports cars, you know you're going to have the right formulation for all your braking needs. And another great thing about EVS is they're all manufactured underneath one roof, the same facility, not outsourced from all over places all over the world. So you know how you acted when the teacher left the classroom during a test. Same thing here. Conforms to great quality control, materials, all the processes and steps to make the brake pads. Now let's take a look at them. They're going to be slotted and chamfered as per OE design. That's going to cut down on things like noise and excessive heat and so forth. Now the backing plates are all black powder coated. That's going to make sure that the pad moves freely inside that caliper. All EVS pads are 100% post-cured. That way there's no break-in period for them. When you install EVS pads from Federated Auto Parts, you can assure yourself that your brakes are up to OE standard.
All right, so making some progress. We got our inner panel fitting pretty nice. We got our inner outer nice and tucked in there. Cleared out some space from this thing of stuff all stuck together that used to be kind of crowding that room over there. Have no idea what all that used to be, but you know, I guess it intended to keep the truck together. But now that's starting to look pretty good. Now I've got these little Clecos here. These are pretty neat little devices. If I put my pliers on them and squeeze, this necks out and gets thinner. And I can pop it right in my little 1/8" hole here. I let go and bang, it holds my panel in place. And what's nice is I can change my mind, I can move things around. And all it is a little hole. I can spot fill it anytime I want. So if I've got to make some adjustments, I haven't done any welding. Nothing's permanent. So I can build this up slowly, see what I've got. And if I need to come back, I can clean all this metal later. You know, I can build up to it. I can pull the panels to get out of the way. So a really great way to work. I'm going to continue to just keep building this up. And then when this looks pretty good, I can kind of make my plan for where to go from there.
Man, that is a lot of work. So say you're not into that much work or you don't have that much time on your hands. How about this? From Brothers Trucks, you can get exact reproduction fenders. just like they were brand new, anything from 1947 to 1954 models. They come ready to go, EDP coated, ready for paint, whatever you want to do. And these guys make every single thing about this truck. That way you don't have to do any rust repairs or anything like that. It's brand new, exactly like it was from 1947 to 1954. Just a couple bolts and you're good to go. For this week's Federated Factoid, we're talking about the post-war era Chevy truck. In the post-war era, people were looking to put the past behind them, and complete redesigns of automobiles quickly followed. The first post-war truck to come out was the 1947 Chevy, and they quickly had their hands on a #1 seller. The 3100 was primarily a work truck, with a design change creating a much larger, stronger, and sleeker cab that could transport 3 men. Originally a 3-window work truck, farmers began driving them into town, and the small rear window created terrible blind spots. So quickly the 5-window deluxe cab became more popular.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by StarTron, enzyme fuel treatment for all engines.
While Kevin and Willie work on that old Chevy truck, let me tell you what causes automatic transmissions to leak. In most cases, the seals start to harden. Here's your fix: K&W's TransX automatic transmission slip, stop, and leak fix from CRC. Just add TransX directly into the transmission dipstick tube. This repairs leaks in your automatic transmission and revitalizes hardened seals. The solvents and oils in TransX help seals stay flexible and prevent future leaks. TransX removes sludge and varnish buildup, plus it lubricates gears, helps prevent slippage, and restores smooth shifting. Synchronizers for Ford vehicles require an alignment tool to achieve proper timing after installation. The color-coded 4-piece cam synchronizer alignment kit from Cardone is needed to successfully complete the synchronizer installation. The tool is designed to lock into the synchronizer in only one position to assure proper alignment. You can use the vehicle service manual for proper indexing of the tool's alignment arrow and steps to complete the installation. The camshaft synchronizer alignment kit is a valuable addition to every technician's toolbox, and you can pick it up at Federated Auto Parts. TR Tools Tight Reach Extension Wrench makes work easier, safer, and faster. No more one click at a time with your ratchet. By attaching the tight reach to other tools, you can keep a safe distance from objects that will bust up your knuckles or burn your hands. You can also use the 3/8 version with an impact wrench, so that's going to make your job a lot easier and faster. In the past, you could only work on nuts and bolts, but now there's a new adapter that allows you to use any 1/4-inch bit. So whether it's a hard-to-reach Phillips head, flathead, Torx head, or dozens of other fasteners, now you have a whole new way to use your tight reach. It's not available in stores, so check out their website. Here's the latest innovation in new brake hardware from Carlson Quality Brake Parts. Quiet Glide brake pad abutment clips with drag and noise reduction technology. It starts with stainless steel to meet 3 critical conditions for lasting performance: corrosion resistance, hardness, and durability. But check this out. Quiet Glide brake clips are coated on both sides. One side is coated with low friction PTFE. This significantly reduces kinetic friction, reducing drag, which extends pad life and helps improve fuel efficiency. The other side has an exclusive rubber compound bonded to the clip for superior noise reduction. These clips give you the best of both worlds: PTFE on one side to reduce drag, and a rubber compound on the other to reduce brake noise. Be sure to do the job right and use Quiet Glide brake clips from Carlson.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at TwoGuysGarage.com. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Woodward Fab, quality metalworking equipment since 1966.
Hey, welcome back. Now we've got the side cowl, inner outer coming together. This is starting to look like a real truck. This is our 50 pickup truck restoration. this is how you start to restore a car. And what's great for, you know, a few bucks, a couple $100 here and there, you can really go out in your garage and put together a nice puzzle piece, a great project. So this is coming together. I feel solid about it. The next thing we'll do is maybe fit the door again, make sure the jambs are looking good, maybe fit the hood before we go lock this thing down. But once we're feeling pretty solid about it, then I can start ordering some more pieces and start working my way towards the good metal again, because this is not looking so good. It's kind of shady.
Oh yeah, man.
Then we come back here, do a little butt welding, so we feel comfortable about where the line is going to be. This will get sliced, butt welded together, nice and clean.
Well, you're talking welding, man, so I brought you one. You've been on this corner all day. I think we were maybe, I don't know, misled a little bit. You never know when you pick up a vehicle online or a newspaper, your neighbor's car, wherever, what kind of condition it was. And this one was a little rougher.
I think the owner was a little optimistic about the condition when he brought it over here. So,
but that's where guys like Brothers Trucks really help us out, because if you look in this catalog, every single component, piece, panel you could ever want for this vehicle is all here. You got rear cab, you got the whole back cab panel, and you know, earlier I was telling you I was going to show you something. They have the entire cab available.
They got the
man.
whole cab.
The
in there?
whole cab
Already
is
put
in
together?
there, already put together.
That looks a whole lot easier than reconstructing this thing.
Yeah, it is, man. So if you find yourself something that has, I don't know, 15 to 86 patch panels, maybe look at something like an entire
I think I'm at the
cab.
300. I think every page on there's been earmarked.
It has, man. It's Brothers Trucks, really handy on a situation like this.
Yeah, so I tell you what, man. Why don't you hand me your credit card? I'll go get that cab ordered up. I'll quit working on this.
Yeah,
and we'll just play around with our new welder instead of.
And with
messing
that,
around.
we're out of time. No credit card numbers for him. Hey, thanks for joining. I hope you learned something, man. Nice work, buddy.
We'll see you next time.